Interesting night, first night in New York. The Super 8 hotel in Jamaica on North Conduit Street. Yeah, lives up to its reviews. In fact, I could probably add my own to it, which is only marginally better than sleeping on the airport floor. But anyway, Uber's just brought me around the mile or so it is to the freight company. I'm just standing outside a little bit early to Airtime Freight. I'm hoping my motorbike's in there somewhere. First thing I've got to do is pick up some paperwork from them to say they have it, and then I've got to make my way to customs to get the clearance from them, and then I can come back and get my bike back. So a little bit of faff in the suit this morning. I'm a little bit early. There's a McDonald's on the corner. I might go and get a coffee, but catch up later. Bye. Okay, just walking back from the customs building. Seems there's been a bit of a cock up. My air bill says that my bike flew into JFK Airport when it didn't. It flew into Toronto, and they brought it by truck across the Canadian border into New York. So JFK Airport Customs don't really care. They give me a stamp on a document, which I don't know actually what that's going to mean, whether or not my air company will release my bike. But here's the kicker. It's a mile and a half from the warehouse to the customs building. You can get an Uber there. You can't get an Uber back. You have to walk back. So bit of exercise for the day and just burn up another half an hour. It's going to make my day a bit more interesting. It's all part of the journey. Speak to you later.
Okay, so you know when someone can be a jerk because they don't have to do something? Well, Nelson Spellman, who's a customs officer at JFK, he is absolutely brilliant. He knew he didn't have to do anything, but he helped me regardless and did the right stamp on the document. So I'm really, really grateful. But it helped me get my bike back, so I can drive away now.
Here we go. Bike's all packed out of the crate. It's running. It's all packed up properly, ready to go. These guys are amazing. They really looked after me. Had to get it out of the crate. Gave me somewhere warm to stay while we waited for the bike to arrive from Canada, but I'll tell you all about that later. And I'm just about to hit the road. So wish me luck.
Okay, this is the Atlantic Suites Inn in a place called Wall Township. It's about an hour's ride outside New York. It was probably a good stopping off point just in case it took me too long to get my bike out, but I made it there safely.
Okay, that's enough adventure and excitement for one day. I didn't do too much filming because I hadn't set my camera up properly, but I've managed to get out of New York alive. The drivers, they've decriminalised cannabis here, and everyone's on weed. And it's affecting their driving. So a few near-death experiences, but a really good ride in. It's nice and bright, lovely day. I've stopped at a place called Wall Township. It's a perfect motel, really. But I've done enough adventure and excitement for one day, so I'm going to go into my room. It's quite a sweet little room, really. Little ensuite. Put it this way, this room's getting a better review than the one last night. See you later. Okay, I've been trying to outrun the rain. Doing alright up until now. But I've just managed to divert around Atlantic City, and I'm heading down to the Cape May ferry. It's the only day I've actually got to be somewhere at a certain time, and they're quite strict on what time you check in on the ferry. If I miss my place, I've got a long divert to get around it. So I'm getting wet. There's no service area, so I can't pull over. So hey ho, I've got soggy trousers.
I did film a lot on the ferry, including a whale. They stopped the ferry to look at a whale, but some idiot reformatted the card before I had a chance to download it.
Hey buddy!
go out and left. Okay, I don't know if you can stop here because these are all coming in. Are you alright?
So go out there, around, and come back, yeah?
Left at where you hit the main road, and then past the ferry, that blue sign over there.
Where are you parked?
Over there.
You're over there. I'll go and find you over there. All right.
In that far corner, you're going to see a gate. The gate will go up when you approach it, and it'll take you into the other.
Shortcut. Nice one. Thank you. Right, off the ferry. That was an interesting trip. I didn't cover it before, but at the start, I'm on the dock. I've got half an hour to spare before the boat sails, and one of these local cops came up to me and said, I'm going to have to ask you to unpack your bike so we can search it. And I said, are you kidding me? I said, it's, you know how long it takes to unpack this bike? And he goes, don't worry sir, we have plenty of time. So it's the pouring with rain, and I've unpacked all of my clothes in the rain, all of my panniers in the rain, and it's all laying there in the car park. And he's happy. He's questioned my friend's Paxo, but hey, I'll tell you about that later. But yeah, so he goes, thank you very much sir. So after I complied, he then starts asking me, so what are you doing? What are you doing in the UK, in the United States? And I said, well, I'm doing a tour. I said, I've just shipped my bike in from New York, and I said I'm on my way to Los Angeles, and I'm going to do 8,500 miles and visit a bit of your country on the way. And he goes, oh, that's cool, that's cool. He goes, so how do you manage to do this? And I said, well, I retired as a police officer, having done 30 years service in the UK a few weeks ago. He goes, you were a cop? And I said, yeah, and in 30 years I would have never have done what you just did to me, unpacking my bike in the pouring rain on the dockside. Oh, I'm sorry man, it's only my job. And I just said, off. It's not your job. Anyway, that was my little adventure. I met a couple of guys on the boat, a couple of American vets who were very interested in my trip, and I started talking to a few of them, and they all saying, people started gathering around saying, why did that cop make you unpack all your bike on the dock? And I went, no idea. No, like, that was unreasonable. He said he never looked at another car, not one. And I was like, well, if the man with the gun says unpack your bike, I unpack your bike. But yeah, hey, welcome to America, I suppose. Yeah, good fun. Anyway, I'm following my friend now. He's in the car in front, hopefully, and we're going around to his house and to meet his family, and hopefully catch up on some good old days. We'll see. Okay, I'm staying with my friend Dick, who I used to work with years ago, and I brought him fresh supplies of Paxo stuffing and Cadbury's chocolate. We spent a very wet and windy morning exploring Lewis, showing me all the sights, including President Biden's summer house. Right, we're driving on the beach.
Let's hope we don't get stuck.
Right, you seriously, you've done this before, yeah?
We'll stay above the high tide mark.
Yeah, let's stay away from the water. Yeah, I could do without floating away.
You have to have a special permit.
Yeah.
And purportedly to go fishing.
But I take it you don't have to do a test to do this permit. You just buy the permit.
Yeah, but they sold out.
Right, we're doing well. We haven't stopped yet. Touch wood. But just coming up to another one of those observation towers. But sea's looking a little rough. Dick's looking a little worried. So this is the observation tower, or call it what do they call it? Standing guard. So this is on the Atlantic side of the coast for spotting ships, and there's a gun battery. Oh, so there's two of these and a gun battery in the middle.
There's actually a series of them,
yeah,
but you needed two of them to triangulate
to get the
U-boats.
For the U-boat threat of the Second World War. All right, so you can come inside this thing now. Whoa, that's a lot of stairs. Looking forward to meeting the wasp. This is a long way up. Let's have a look. Oh man, right, it's better be a good view. Oh wow.
It's amazing. Where's the sea?
Yeah.
Oh, I see, right.
All along that line. That's the edge of America.
Yeah? Oh, it's another tower over there. And another one over there. So yeah. Oh, this is awesome. God, my legs. That took a while to climb. What's this? Hello, Bella. What's this? Okay, just left my friend's house, Dick and Barbara, and I want to thank them for an absolutely amazing stay. Got to go and see the local sites this morning, which was really good, and it was fantastic to catch up with somebody from such a long time ago. Good to see nothing's changed. Still mental, still got a crazy sense of humour, and I really want to thank them for their hospitality. So looking at the sat nav now, I've got 112 miles to get me into Washington D.C. The highlights of this trip are expected to be the Bay River Bridge, which is apparently 4 miles long, across open water, and as you can see, it's raining, blowing a gale, so raining sideways, so we should see what how that's going to affect that river crossing, but it'll be fun. All waterproofs are on, I'm dry, music's playing. At the moment I'm listening to Mongolian folk rock, which is interesting, but I might give you a little taster of the soundtrack a little bit later on in the trip, but let's see how this day goes. It is a wet and miserable day here in the nation's capital. I made it to the mall, Central Mall. Down there, in that foggy distance, is the Washington Memorial, and beyond that the Lincoln Memorial, and beyond that Arlington Cemetery, where I'm heading to a little bit later. So yuck, it's wet, but hey, it's a good long walk. Okay, time your journeys, your trips, your adventures well. Just there is the Smithsonian Museum of Air and Space, the National Museum of Air and Space. In there are the only things that I actually came to Washington D.C. to see. There's the Wright Fly, the first aircraft to achieve powered flight. There's the Spirit of St. Louis, which was the first aircraft to fly the Atlantic. There's Apollo 11 command module, the first man-made aircraft or whatever to land on the moon. You've got the Bell, the fastest first supersonic plane. You've even got a scale model of the Starship Enterprise. So you can understand my disappointment getting here to find it's closed. So hey ho, time your journeys well, guys, and do your research. There's loads of museums here, natural history museums, museums of American history, museums of art, nothing that interests me. But hey, that one interested me and I can't go. Never mind, keep walking. Okay, next monument on our disappointing tour of Washington D.C. This is the Washington Monument. Apparently you can pay to get a lift to the top of that, and there's a little hole at the top that you can look out of. But I think all I'd see is a closer look at the cloud that's been leaking on me all morning. So I'm going to give it a miss. I'm going to head up that way to where I'm told the White House will be. Catch up with you in a bit.
Lo más que no tengo mi teléfono aquí para poder buscar, yo puedo buscar por la ruta.
Okay, this is the Lincoln Memorial. So go up and see Abe. I'm here at Arlington Cemetery, which is the national cemetery for American fallen, I suppose. I can't begin to tell you how much of an amazing place this is, and the lengths the Americans have gone to to honour their dead. The reason I'm here more than anything else is I didn't think I could start looking at America and discovering America, the land of the free, without paying my respects first to the people that gave their lives for that freedom. So that's why I'm here. Good morning, everyone. Okay, it's what day is it? Thursday? Could be Friday. No idea, can't remember. I'm just leaving Washington. Interesting stay here. Glad the sun's out today. Yesterday was a very, very wet day. It took me a while to dry out, but I'm quite pleased to get out of this city, and I'm going to try and make it my last one, to be honest with you. City hotels aren't exactly clean or safe, so I'm pretty pleased to be on my way. It's just before 9 o'clock, so I'm hitting rush hour. I've got to go in to the Capitol, got to go past Capitol Hill and the Pentagon, and then I hit the road, head north up to the Shenandoah National Park and the start of Skyline Drive. So this is really where the ride properly starts, where actually the purpose of my day is the ride rather than sightseeing. So stick with us and we'll see where we end up at the end of the day. It's the Pentagon over there. Wow, there's the city over there. That's probably Marine One there. Mr. Biden going out for lunch or breakfast, whatever. There's the bridge I walked across yesterday, I believe. So we're running alongside Arlington Cemetery to my left. This is the Potomac River. Crack, I really should look this stuff up. That does look like Marine One, look. It's got the white bit on top. Good morning, Mr. President. Wonder where he's off to. What's on the news? Oh, bugger me, it is. Cool. Okay, I'm out of the city. I'm about 2 hours north of Washington. Really glad to be out of there actually, because it's not a nice place. Very busy, very overcrowded. Traffic's a nightmare, but I'm out of there. 2 hours, ridden for about 2 hours. About an hour on the interstate just to sort of make up some time. But I'm in a lovely little town called Front Royal. Now, Front Royal is famous for not much other than being the starting point of Skyline Drive. Now Skyline Drive is one of these pleasure roads that the Americans built in the 1930s. You're not allowed to put lorries on it or service vehicles of any type. It's just for pleasure, and I'm really hoping that it's got some twisties so that I can actually see if my bike goes anything other than in a straight line, because that's all it's done since it's been here. Skyline Drive is going to take me about 80 miles kind of west, or is it east? Can't remember, but I'm going to end up in a couple of hours time in Waynesboro, which is where I'm staying tonight. Got to stay there because there's a laundry next to the hotel I've booked, and I really do need some clean skiddies. Hopefully I might get some footage now of some nice roads. We'll see. So this is the north entrance of the Shenandoah National Park. I just tried to take a photograph of my bike, but the camber on the road means I can't actually put the side stand down without dropping it. So no pictures of me in the sign, but I'm here. Anyway, I'm going to push on. Okay, that's the Shenandoah River and the Shenandoah Valley down there, made famous by John Denver. Country roads take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads. I might keep this up. I'll see in the comments if you like my singing or not. But hey, when it comes on my music in my ears, you'll expect to have it completely sung end to end. And I'll edit it into the video somewhere. Look, it's bendies and twisties. They just had a sign that suggests the speed that you should go around these bends. I see that as a bit of a challenge. I mean, look at this. Look, twisty roads, maximum speed 30 mile an hour. Yeah, I reckon I can do that at 50. Let's see how close I can push it before I go flying off into the wilderness. This place is absolutely amazing. I don't know what our altitude is now. We've done a fair bit of climbing. I've just literally started feeling that we're going back down again, but I know we're high because the temperature's dropped about 10 degrees. It's lovely and sunny, but it's a bit nippy. But hey ho, it's beautiful scenery, absolutely gorgeous, and there's no one around. It's like I'm the only one on this road. I've got 100 miles of a road all to myself. The only problem is 35 mile an hour speed limit. So yeah, that's not really happening. Yeah, you can't really go fast along here, and it is gorgeous, beautiful. Okay, just past one now, look, and it does show you the elevation. I'm just a little over 3,000 feet up and still climbing. There's one coming up here. What's this one going to be? This is going to be a little bit more. 3,120 feet. I can't think of anything we've got in the UK that's as high as this. I can't think what Snowdon is in feet, but I'd love to be able to ride a motorbike up Snowdon, and on a road this scale. Wouldn't that be cool? I'd get rid of that little chuffy train. This place is incredible. I'm at 3,400 feet, and that's just beautiful. It gets better from here. How cool's that? Okay, just stopped for a bit of a stretch. I'm on the oh god, one of the outlooks. There's hundreds up here, but down to about 2,500 feet now. So it's a little bit greener, a little bit warmer. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to show you a bit of the landscape. But this is part of the Shenandoah National Park, and what they do here, which I thought is really quite incredible, is they've cut this road through this area, and then they've designated about nearly 80,000 acres of it as wilderness. You can't get to it. You're not allowed to walk on it. You're not allowed to build on it. There is no man intervention in any of that land I just showed you.
It literally is as nature intended it. And it's quite funny. I'm looking at one of their boards here, and it says where the earth and its community of life are untrampled by man, and where man himself is a visitor who does not remain. And that's written into their Wilderness Act of 1964, which I thought was really quite good. But it does mean that there's bits of world here where animals, nature can just get on with it without anybody else coming along and buggering it up for them. But you've got this path, this road, this beautiful road that runs through it, and so you can see it, but you can't touch it. I think that's really cool. You see the deer? I might have called it quick. They're just sitting at the side of the road. They're like sheep. They don't care. That's what I was saying about wilderness. No one touches them. No reason to. Beautiful. To think I've died and gone to heaven. This road is amazing. I'm probably about 50 miles into it now, and there's a serious danger of falling asleep. It's just beautiful meandering bends, and you can't go fast on them. But the road itself is a velvety, smooth tarmac that's got these little bits of glitter in it, and it's like Disney would do to make something look magical. And for bikers, I'm sorry, but if you don't ride this road once in your lifetime, then you're missing out on the dream, I think. This is just heaven. I haven't seen another car. I've seen two bikes, but I think I overtook a van about 20 miles ago. But you've got this beautiful road to yourself, and it just keeps on giving and giving, and it is lovely. Anything that would make it a bit better is if you could go about 10 mile an hour faster, just to give you a little bit more thrill in the corners. But hey, this is just to die for. Get your bikes on the boat, on the plane, however you need to get them over here, but just ship them out and ride this road. Here endeth the lesson. Mick Jones, I hope you're watching this and looking at my blinking road positioning. It's ingrained now. Ingrained. Position 1, position 2, position 3. Comes in handy up here though. What I didn't say is I bought a National Parks pass. It's quite a palaver to get it in the UK because you have to write to them. You can't email them, and there's no online purchase. So you have to print off the form, handwrite it, and post it by airmail to the national parks in America. And then a couple of months later, they send you your pass. Now, an annual park pass for all of the national parks in America is 80 quid. And when I pulled up to the entrance of this national park, the first one I've entered, just to ride a motorbike across this 100 miles is $25. So if you think about it, I'm going to be in about a dozen or so national parks on my way across America. And that 80 quid is easily going to be seen as very good value for money very, very quickly. So if you're ever coming out this way and you're going to spend a little while exploring the countryside, get a national parks pass. That's a big bloody bird, and it's about to eat a possum. Opossum, big bird. Okay, a very uneventful night in Waynesboro. I ate out in a restaurant that actually had cutlery, and it didn't resort to finger food. It was Australian based, an outback restaurant, but yeah, an uneventful night. But I started early this morning and headed for the next stage, which is the Blue Ridge Parkway.